This is our 2018 Gen 3 system for the IDigBest. These are our new touch screens, work underwater. Come with a USB to upload software offline anytime you want. This is our controller, comes with it, plugs into the harness. We have video jacks so you can add cameras. Ask for a link, you can buy cameras to put on your machine for 10, 20 bucks. Pretty cheap. These are the cables that you hook these sensors together. One with the bucket, from the bucket to the dipper to the main boom, from the main boom to the chassis sensor. This is the main harness. It comes in two parts. This is the laser catcher side, and this is the main side for plugging in the hydraulics and the screen. We keep them separate because it's long for the laser, and LEDs are on this. These are our RAM kits. You can buy longer mounts if you want. They come with screws, the RAM mount. This is our laser catcher. Comes with a reflector cap if you're working around glass buildings or ambulance, something with flashing lights. This is the weld on. You weld inside for your laser catcher, so you can take it off if need. Weld on the inside so you don't tear up the outside. It's a stainless. Here is a camera that we suggest. We're not throwing these in yet, but we will be soon, I think. But you can buy these at $9 at Fire Electronics. Little backup cameras. This is the LEDs and the connectors to it. This is our helicopter talk switch. This is what you put on your joystick. It's got gold connectors in it so it does not go bad, but it goes on your joysticks, Velcro. It's pretty cool. These are our sensors. It comes with 4 sensors. This is bucket sensor, end one, bucket and tilt. Got chassis X and Y, main boom X and Y, and dipper X and Y. So all rotations of sensors. Then we start getting into, there's zip ties, hydraulic kits. These 2 hoses, we'll start with that. They are for your pilot. They screw in the bottom of this. This is so that you can, we'll show you later, hook the 2 number 8 JICs to T's in your main boom. We send you a picture of that, 2 T's. The next valve that we normally go to is the second red valve, and these will be gold in the future, so coming soon. So we have 3 different colors. This is the bucket control valve. It has auxiliary. We give you a line for that. This is from the pilot pressure of the pump, pilot pump, pilot pressure. Goes in the side there, screws right in. These are JIC. We give all JIC fittings, very common, number 6. And this is pilot, P for pilot, D for, or pilot dig, D for dig, pilot curl for pilot curl. Couldn't spit that one out, could I? Joy curl, joy dig. They're actually flipped, but you just unhook your pilot lines and you just basically go through. So your joystick C curl, you'll unhook it, you'll hook it into our line, and it'll come out here, curl, and go back through. So we just pass through the lines. Same with dump. That's how you hook up your pilot control for the auto steer on the bucket. Got 2 holes here. You can zip tie through those to hold your lines. You can bolt them into something solid. Most guys do that. Looks good that way. This here is the test valve. You unscrew it about 3 times and you will see the bucket dump for a test. Hydraulic test valve. This is our boom controls and dipper for stop dig. We have 2 of them, one for the main boom and one for the dipper. This is main boom, and it says P1 here, which is pilot 1, and it says J1 here, joystick 1. So we put main boom normally on that. So the pilot side, joystick side. So the hoses come from the joystick going here. This will go right back to your pilot. This is the same thing, P3 and J3 for your dipper coming towards you to hook those in. Pretty simple. So the last thing is we send about 50 foot of hose. You cut this with a knife. I got a little video I'm going to turn on in a second, and they push onto, they're called push lock. They're 400 pounds working pressure, 1,600 pound burst. To slide these on, a lot of guys use oil and stuff. Do not. You use detergent, soap only. Oil can cause you a problem. You don't heat them up, you don't anything, you push them on. If you're not strong enough to push them on, and believe me, it'll wear out anybody sometimes, I'm going to turn on a little video here I'm going to throw in here that shows you how you can use a pair of vice grips with a flat clamp on it, and you can just screw them in with your vise. A simple technique for it. So I'm going to show you that and how all that hooks up here in just a second. Here's the video on that now. This is Phil with IDigBest. These are our push lock fittings for your hose kits. You can push these on by hand, believe it or not, but it might wear you out. So there's a little trick we got. If you get a little bit of soap, and you want to use soap, it's the best. A little bit of Dawn deep dishwashing detergent and kind of get your fitting started like that. You can see it. You just get a pair of these flat channel pliers and clip it on where there's a little bit of room. Make sure it gets pretty tight, not too tight, but enough. And right when you clamp it, bend this up out of the way like that. Okay? So that way you can just stick it in right here. You see how that's going right now? And just line that up with that, and I just screw it on in so you can watch it here. And it starts going, and try to take it all the way home. If you go too hard, you're allowed to mess the hose up a little bit there. We don't want to do that. Oops. So we'll get another clamp so I'm not quite far enough. And stick her on there. And then pull it up out of the way. There we go. Let it open. Get her started. Get nice tight there. And let me take it the rest of the way home. Just want to get that on past those two barbs. That's all. Don't have to overdo it. Look like that, but that's how you get a good push lock fitting in. All right, let's first talk about installing the main boom valve, the little red one, which will be gold soon. There's one there. Comes with two hoses. In this case, you've got to buy the T's because every machine's different size, and we're just going to the high and low side of the cylinder. One there that they tee in both sides. If you have two booms or one, it doesn't matter. Just put it on one side. These are in parallel together, so it doesn't matter. A nice little trick though is you can buy two 90s, and in the bottom of the valve is a number 8 O-ring boss, and you can do it like this instead of having the hose, because it comes with like 4 foot of hose, and you can hook on down at the bottom, top. You can hook on back in the cab, wherever you want. But this valve basically just has to connect between the two. You get the valves, the T's, I'm sorry to put those on. We'd supply them, but every machine's different. This is a Kobelco. It's load sensing, which is a little more complicated than most systems, but still pretty easy. This is the main boom. You can see back in there the blue valve. The one on the left is going to the main boom. It says P on one side, P port 1. That's the pilot side. So this here runs right up to that P side of it. And then below it is J, which is joystick side. So this is actually the joystick line, this blue one, believe it or not. And it's hooked in, so it just passes through and comes back to here. This joystick line was hooked here. So this is the dipper here. Dipper coming. This is boom down, by the way. And then this is dipper crowding towards your crowd, okay? Same thing. Took off the red hose of that one, ran it through the valve to the J side, came out the P side, and came right to here. Very simple. On the bucket, on the Kobelcos, you got to put it before the switch here. You got to be on the joystick side, close to the joysticks, because it is load sensing. It won't sense it working. So it's very simple. We did the same thing. We put quick couplers on this one, but this was on the Kobelco. This is the red one is the dump, and the curl is this one over here. If you can see that. We just ran them through, same thing. There's the red valve there, and we just passed it through. See the hoses pushed on. You saw the little video how to push them on. And then you have a pilot line on this, and it's a hard hose. It is pressure, and it gets higher than the hoses are, well, higher than the hoses are rated sometimes. So we give you a line for that. You saw that earlier. And we tied it in over here. You can go back to the pump, and most machines have a pilot pump, and it's right on the end. It's this little pump right here. See that? Got a filter. Some have a big filter mount on the side, a different way. So before we came, we just teed off right there on it and took it on back there. It's 600 pounds pressure, I think, for pilot. Some machines like Komatsu, it comes out of the top of the pumps, and on Bobcat, they use a reducing flow pressure valve, whatever it is, and they compensate for whatever it is. So you got to find which that is. An easy way to do it, you'll see on a lot of systems, is they'll have test ports. This one has one, but it's where you can't hardly see it. and you can just get a coupling and put it on the test port. You just clip it right on, and that's pressure from the pump for pump pressure, and you hook it right to the valve. That's basically it in a nutshell. The big thing is, once you go, you can see this valve up here. You turn that counterclockwise, and the bucket will dump. That's how you prove everything's working. You'll have a little air in it at first, have a little lag. Don't worry about that. That's just the way it is till the air works out. It takes a long time to work air out of pilot. It might take a day or two. That's it. Any questions? 317-210-0220. Thanks. Have a great day. So, kit install. See how we mounted the new touchscreen for the IDigBest system. It's all works underwater touch with gloves on. Pretty simple. And we put the MyDAC down below, or the wiring harness ran it down below here on the floor. So underneath the cab we have the little computer, or the red plug. From that red plug, it comes out and goes to your chassis sensor, which is actually on the back window over here. Here's your boom sensor, faces like that. Here's your dipper, hide them down here behind the lines, put everything behind the lines. And bucket sensor, it's in there somewhere. Pretty simple. Here's laser. LEDs, if you're mounting this yourself, do not let them flash on the laser. It'll think it's a laser beam. We have a shield you can put on there, but you don't need the shield. Best thing is just, this is aimed just a little different. If you line up with your eyes, you won't see that flash there. So that's about it on the install. I just showed the valves and the way it works. This will be on a rototilt pretty soon. We'll be putting sensors in rototilts if you have those. Makes it pretty interesting. So any questions? Give us a yell. Thanks.